Hello to everyone. Recently I've changed the crash guards on my Tenere 700 from lower or so-called enduro crash guard to upper, or the one that covered almost the whole front part of the motorcycle. In this video I'm gonna show you how, and maybe the most important question, why. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. I've been asked a number of times why I don't travel all the time. What kind of adventurer I am if I don't travel? Well, first of all, I never said that I'm a great adventurer, and secondly, I have nothing to prove. I'm a family man, I've got some responsibilities and some obligations, and I cannot afford to travel all the time. And also, now at the moment, outside is -4. Even in the garage before I start the heating was -4 degrees. Now 20 minutes later it is +4, still cold, but at least it is manageable. So I do not have any desires to go and ride in these conditions, in this weather. I have done it once many years ago on the way to Bulgaria from Germany, but I did not expect such a bad weather and I don't want to do it again. As I said, I have nothing to prove. Let me first answer to the second question, why I decided to change the lower crash guard to the upper crash guard. It must be the weight, right? Yes, but no. The upper crash guard actually weighs around 1 kilogram more than the lower. I mean both sides, left and right. This was like 4.8 kilograms and this was like 5.8 kilograms. So it must be another reason. It should be the protection, because as you can see, it is much better than the lower crash guard. The plastics are also safe, even the forks could be protected. Well, in theory, yes, but I never really liked this idea to have a cage around my motorcycle. I never been a proponent of the crash guards, never ever. But sometimes we do what we got to do. The problem with this Tenere is the design of the engine. The right side is very open, and if I drop the bike on the right hand side, I might damage the cover of the clutch, water pump, or these plastic pipes. That's why I decided to have the lower crash guard last year, mount like this, to protect these vital parts of the engine. Also, which is the most important reason for me, to protect the radiator, because as I said, if you drop the bike on the right hand side and you have such a bad luck, a big stone may hit it here, and I don't really care about these plastics, they are not that expensive, but the radiator could be damaged and this will stop you from traveling. That's why I agreed to have the lower crash guard. But now, after I mount the bush plate that I have now, which I wanted to have from a long time to protect anything else from underneath and front part, I cannot have this crash guard anymore, because the lower mounting points here were exactly here under this bush plate. So I have to choose to have this crash guard and only the original protection underneath, or to switch to something else. And I redesigned here this part to protect the plastic pipes, but I still have no protection here. And as I said, if I drop the bike on the right hand side, I might damage the radiator and this will be a problem. That's why I decided to change it. I don't like the idea, but it is what it is. Regarding to the extra weight, it will be just 1 kilogram difference, because I already had the lower crash guard. And many people say that if you have all of this weight, it might be just pointless because your motorcycle will be different then. Yes, partly I agree with this. This motorcycle is 204 kilograms, and if I have like 6 kilograms of the crash guards, 3 kilograms for the bush plate, it's already 9 kilograms. If I add 1 more kilogram on the plate that I've got and the handles, it is like 10 kilograms more than before, and maybe 3 more kilograms for the side stand. It's already 13 kilograms. So it becomes like almost 220 kilograms bikes. But let me tell you, most of the adventure motorcycles that you like at the moment, even some of the most famous, weigh more than this, even without these things. And you're gonna have it there anyway. Sometimes we have to make some compromises. If this model was like my old Tenere, very well protected right from the shop, I wouldn't change anything. But as I show you here, the things are a little bit different. If the idea was only to ride around my home, I will not change anything. I will ride it as it is. But because I plan to ride on some really long distances far away from my home, I prefer to have at least some kind of protection. I understand that it comes with kilograms, but I can handle it. By the way, this model is made by a Romanian company named Heavy Duties. They actually sent me the lower crash guard and the center stand last year for free, with a fair exchange of video reviews on my channel. If you haven't watched it, you can do it here. Anyway, when I explained them the situation with my bash plate, they agree without any problems to send me the upper model now. It has nice design, beautiful finishing, matte color, weldings are perfect. It is lighter than the guards in this category, as I said, 5.8 kilograms, and it is not that bulky. It comes with all the necessary hardware and it should be mounted without any problems. So let's finally begin. 3 bolts on the side and 3 more here. These are more like small clips. Then I have to remove these plastic parts as well. All right, it is the same on this side. The reason of that is to have access to these 2 bolts, on which I'm gonna mount one of the holders. The second is here and the third is between the forks. Then a 12mm bolt need to be removed from here, need to be changed with the one that they gave. It has this lock on that side. It has to be changed with this, with a Teflon nut and 2 washers. These 2 bolts will hold this part here, like this. Let me put at least one. Then this washer go here with longer bolt into the first position. Then it's another one of this with the washer underneath. I'm ready. It took me like 40 minutes to install it. See how it looks like. It is not that noticeable when you have a black motorcycle like me. Definitely not like on the white color. One of the supports is here. They actually gave these bolts, but I prefer to use the original because they are black. the second is here, and the third is here underneath. So it has 3 supporting points, and this makes it solid. Here one of the bolts need to be replaced, but they provide, as I said, all necessary hardware. Yeah, it looks solid and not that noticeable, what I told earlier. This is the view from the bike and while I ride. One of the good sides or the positive sides of this type of crash guard is that if you have an accident, a car hits you from the side, this crash guard might prevent or at least to absorb the biggest part of the impact and actually protect your knee. At least on theory it's like that. But yeah, I thought that is going to be uglier, but it is actually not that bad. In terms of side protection, now I'm pretty sure that this part is impossible to hit the ground because of the this crash guard. See now what is the difference, where is the crash guard and where is the color of the clutch. But anyway, I'm gonna make a proper test after a few minutes. On that side, thanks to this part of the bush plate and this guard, it looks like all protected. Now you can see by yourself that the only part that touched the ground is the crash guard and the handlebar. Let me see it from another side. Yes, the clutch cover got a fair distance, almost 10 centimeters, but everything here is protected. Let me see what will be if the handlebar is on another side. Now the handlebar is not touching the ground, but it is the same story. The transformation is over and I'm really happy with the end result. I hope that this information will be useful to at least one person. Press like or dislike, whatever the video deserves. If you subscribe, even better. Don't forget that every Sunday I do live streams for channel members and Patreons. Over there we discuss different topics and I also reply to many of your questions. If you want to watch these live streams but you don't want to become member or Patreon, you can do it in my second channel, Motorcycle Adventures Live. Over there, once per week, Tuesday or Wednesday, I will upload the same live stream pre-recorded with minimum edition. Basically, I will remove only the blank moments and then upload it with all the information that we've discussed with channel members and Patreons. Yes, it won't be live anymore and you wouldn't be able to ask questions and receive answers, but you can still watch it and gain a lot of useful information. All the details about Heavy Duties Company and my second channel will be in the description down below. See you next time. Ciao.